Picture this: Cuba in the 1950s, a tropical paradise gleaming with wealth, a magnet for celebrities, investors, and tourists. Havana's streets were alive with music, its hotels filled with luxury, and its economy booming. So how did this vibrant island, once among the richest nations in Latin America, plunge into poverty? Today we're uncovering the dramatic fall of Cuba, from a playground of prosperity to an emblem of hardship. Prepare to be shocked by a tale of greed, revolution, and political intrigue that still shapes the lives of millions. In the mid-20th century, Cuba was flourishing. With its sugar exports dominating the global market and tourism booming, Cuba's per capita income was among the highest in the region. Its proximity to the United States made it a hub for trade, culture, and wealth. But beneath the surface, trouble brewed. The wealth was unevenly distributed, and while Havana sparkled with casinos and glamour, rural Cuba languished in poverty. This stark inequality planted the seeds for revolution. Enter Fidel Castro, a young revolutionary with fiery rhetoric and a promise to upend the system. By 1959, the Cuban Revolution had toppled the regime of Fulgencio Batista. Castro promised equality and prosperity for all. The people cheered as the casinos shut down and land reforms began. But the celebration didn't last. Castro's government quickly aligned with the Soviet Union, severing ties with its biggest economic partner, the United States. This decision would alter the course of Cuba's history forever. In 1960, the United States imposed a trade embargo on Cuba, citing the nationalization of American-owned businesses without compensation. The embargo tightened over the years, crippling Cuba's economy. Without access to the United States market, Cuba's sugar exports plummeted. Essential imports like machinery, medicine, and food dwindled. The Soviet Union stepped in to prop up Cuba's economy, but their aid came at a price. Cuba became heavily dependent on Soviet subsidies, leaving it vulnerable when the Cold War came to an end. The 1990s brought disaster. When the Soviet Union collapsed in 1991, Cuba lost its lifeline. The island plunged into what Castro called the special period, a time of extreme economic hardship. Food was scarce, electricity unreliable, and public transportation nearly non-existent. Cubans turned to innovative survival strategies, from urban farming to makeshift bicycles. But the damage was done. Cuba's economy had been left in shambles. Beyond external pressures, Cuba's own policies deepened its struggles. Centralized planning stifled innovation, and industries failed to modernize. The government prioritized ideology over pragmatism, resisting reforms that might open up the economy. Private enterprise was restricted, leaving many Cubans reliant on an inefficient state. In the 1990s, Cuba opened its doors to tourism, hoping to revive its economy. Resorts sprouted along pristine beaches, and tourists flocked to Havana. But this created a dual economy, one for tourists filled with dollars and luxury, and another for locals, struggling to make ends meet on a meager peso salary. Inequality, once the rallying cry of the revolution, had returned in a new form. Today, Cuba remains mired in poverty. The US embargo continues to stifle its economy, while internal reforms have been slow and limited. The COVID-19 pandemic dealt another heavy blow, devastating tourism, the country's lifeline. Cubans face shortages of basic goods, crumbling infrastructure, and limited freedoms. Many risk their lives to flee, seeking better opportunities abroad. Cuba's story is one of missed opportunities, ideological battles, and resilience. It's a cautionary tale about the dangers of inequality, over-reliance on external powers, and the importance of adaptability in a changing world. As you reflect on this journey from riches to rags, ask yourself, could things have turned out differently? What can the world learn from Cuba's rise and fall? If you found this story compelling, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more untold tales of nations, empires, and the people who shaped them. Share your thoughts in the comments. What's your take on Cuba's fate? Thank you for watching, and see you in the next story.